Have you ever stopped to ponder what your world might look like in 50 years? In the face of global warming, this is a question we can no longer afford to ignore. As the Earth spins on its axis, a silent crisis is brewing. The planet's average surface temperature has risen about 2 degrees Fahrenheit since the late 19th century. A change driven largely by increased carbon dioxide and other human-made emissions released into the atmosphere. But what does this really mean? How does a mere 2 degrees impact us? Imagine our Earth as a human body. If your body temperature rises by 2 degrees, you have a fever. And if it doesn't go down, it can become life-threatening. Now, apply that analogy to our planet. The Earth, like a human body, is experiencing a fever, and if we don't act, the consequences could be dire. The World Bank estimates that the impacts of global warming could push an additional 100 million people into poverty by 2050. Picture the entire population of the Philippines plunged into poverty. That's the scale we're dealing with. In the Arctic, the ice is melting at an unprecedented rate, with NASA reporting that it's receding by about 13% per decade. And when the ice melts, it doesn't just disappear. It adds to the ocean's volume, contributing to rising sea levels. This puts coastal cities and islands at risk of submersion. The effects of global warming are not just environmental, they're social and economic too. According to a report by the United Nations, every 1 degree Celsius rise in temperature could reduce economic output by as much as 1.2%. That's a potential loss of trillions of dollars globally. But it's not all doom and gloom. We possess the power to change the course of our planet's future. Each one of us can make a difference. Reduce, reuse, recycle. It may sound cliché, but it's a mantra we need to live by more than ever. By reducing our waste, reusing what we can and recycling, we can significantly decrease the amount of waste that ends up in landfills, which are a major source of greenhouse gases. Opt for renewable energy. Whether it's installing solar panels on your roof or switching to a green energy provider, every little bit helps. Renewable energy sources like wind, solar and hydropower don't release carbon dioxide into the atmosphere, unlike fossil fuels. And finally, use your voice. Vote for leaders who prioritize the environment, support businesses that are eco-friendly, advocate for policies that combat global warming. The time for action is now. The planet's fever is rising, and it's up to us to bring it down. Remember, it's not just about saving the Earth, it's about preserving our home for generations to come. So will you rise to the challenge?